Earlier this year, Blanchard revealed that she and her boyfriend Ken Urker were expecting their first child. Gypsy-Rose Blanchard is willing to tell her kid about her experience. The 33-year-old soon-to-be mother said earlier this week that she intends to finally share her whole tale after she welcomes her baby daughter on Nick Vile's podcast, The Vile Files. Since learning that she is having her first child with partner Ken Urker, Gypsy-Rose, who served 8 years in jail for her involvement in the death of her mother, D.D. Blanchard, says that sharing her story with her daughter has been at the forefront of her thoughts. That conversation is going to come up someday, and how do I want to address that? How do I want to handle that? She adds in the podcast interview. And I feel like when she is of the right age to understand, we are going to sit her down together. To keep informed about the best that POPLE has to offer, from captivating human interest stories to celebrity news, subscribe to their free daily email. Expectant Gypsy-Rose Blanchard explains to co-parent a baby girl why she and her boyfriend, Ken Urker, will live apart. Gypsy-Rose says she wants to share her story with her daughter so she would better understand the decisions she has taken, adding that she will also have the support of her father and stepmother. So with that being said, with love and care and consideration, I mean we have a long time to prepare for that, to know what words need to be said, says Gypsy-Rose. One of the reasons the former prisoner, who was a victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, wanted to publish My Time to Stand, a memoir, was so she could tell her tale to her future daughter, because she could read it for herself and realize that I'm not the person that others portray me as on social media, and that I'm not this monster. Gypsy-Rose asserts, I'm not any of those things. My memoir is a genuine representation of who I am and everything I have experienced. Therefore, I'm doing everything I can to ensure that she gets access to all the information she requires from the appropriate sources. Gypsy-Rose adds she would like her kid to watch the documentary about her if she so desires, in addition to her memoir. I support the documentary because I really believe that it is important to examine people's lives in its most authentic form. So when she's old enough, I'll let her watch my documentary if she wants to, Gypsy-Rose says. And perusing my book, and conversing with us. Both he and I are transparent. We want her to feel free to ask us any questions she may have. After being released from prison on December 28, Gypsy-Rose Blanchard and her husband Ryan Anderson are eager to start a married life. But along with the enthusiasm comes some worry about how their marriage might be affected by being in the spotlight. 32-year-old Gypsy is a little concerned about how the couple, who got married in 2022 after first meeting in 2020, will handle arguments. In an exclusive interview with POPLE before her release, she stated, I think the only fear that I have is, honestly, just making sure that we have good conflict resolution. Being a very in-the-moment person, I want to make sure that, should we disagree, I resolve the matter right away. He is the exact opposite. He must sit on things, consider them, and then return a few hours later to fix them. Get this week's issue of People on newsstands on Friday, or subscribe to the magazine now for more on Gypsy-Rose Blanchard's case. Gypsy and Anderson, 37, had a long-distance romance while her incarceration that lacked the intimacy of text messages or even Skype or Zoom calls. Although Gypsy says it will be an adjustment, she is thrilled to be living with Anderson. She claims, I've never shared a home with a man. I didn't even have a father in the house when I was growing up because I had a mother. I don't even know what it's like to live with a man, I say. Last Thursday, Anderson, 37, picked up Gypsy from Chillicothe Correctional Center in Missouri, where the Munchausen-by-proxy victim had been incarcerated for over 8 years for her involvement in the murder of her violent mother, Dee, the husband of Gypsy-Rose Blanchard, on arranging her first real date. She's going to get really cocky. Only available. In an exclusive interview with POPLE, Anderson discussed the couple's preparations for Gypsy's first days of independence. Anderson had intended to take Gypsy on a romantic night out, make her gumbo, and give her gifts. Gypsy's never been on a real date where you go and sit somewhere and eat and go to a movie or do whatever, he claims. However, he feels uneasy about the couple's existence in the spotlight. After being released from prison, Gypsy-Rose Blanchard was picked up by her new husband, a wrestling enthusiast with a Hitman Heart license plate. There will be a lot of attention, and it will be a whirlwind, Anderson says.